So I got my ADHD diagnosis around 5 years old and autism about 10 years later, and learning to accommodate yourself and feeling like that's okay can be super difficult. The inspiration for this video actually came from autistic burnout, from just stressing myself out over finally being an adult and other big life changes, which I will not mention here. Anywho, this video is basically telling you, yes you, that you should take better care of yourself and accommodate yourself in whatever way you need to. Hey, what are accommodations and why do you think I need those? Well, dear viewer, my answer to that is... accommodations make your life easier. Who knew? Some accommodations people make for themselves can be working from home, having calendars, having planners, breaking down big tasks into smaller ones, using earmuffs or earplugs, and fidgets. Now, obviously what I just showed off is not every accommodation ever, and different things work for different people. You just have to find what works for you and what makes your life the easiest. I have no idea how to segue into this next segment, so here's an unboxing thing. So I bought from a small business called Borderline Punk Design that basically sells like cool, spooky accommodation stuff for autistic people who want swag. And so the first like visible thing in here is a tangle, which is pretty nifty. It's always good to have more quiet fidgets so you don't annoy the shit out of people around you when you're in public. Anyways, next thing in here, which I cut with my knife on accident while opening the package, is a bonus chew, which I've actually been using over the past couple of days since this footage was filmed, and it was very helpful with letting me redirect some bad habits with chewing, like chewing on the inside of my cheek or chewing my nails or something. And next thing in here are some communication cards, which I've needed for a little bit. And here's a chew care card if anyone wants to read it. So there's just a lot of basic phrases on these communication cards. There's also some like I feel phrases and additional questions and stuff, basically like what I need. There's also a whiteboard all the way in the back here, and a dry erase marker and piece of felt to clean off the whiteboard, obviously. Probably would have preferred like a microfiber cloth, but that's the only real criticism I have about these. These are great, they worked well. And here is a little dum-dum that I received also as a fun little bonus. And another little bonus here is a little pop-it keychain, which I like those are always really fun. And here is a card of Hillary, who is Borderline Punk Design's mascot slash Lilith's comfort plushie. We love her. She's very silly. She's very cute. She appears in a lot of their social media content. And here is some bonus stuff on the back. I hope you can see that my hands were really shaky. So that was it for that portion of the package. Next up are these paint markers, and it was actually a whole kit for decorating like earmuffs slash ear defenders, like the types that construction workers use. A lot of autistic people use them to muffle sound so things are less overwhelming. That's probably my best way of explaining it in a way that would make sense to people who have never heard of ear defenders. But yeah, there's like 14 paint markers here, and then in this little pouch here we got some googly eyes, which are always really fun, and this little metal container full of spikes, and also a Borderline Punk Design patch, which is really cool, some E6000 glue, which is amazing because I always like having super glue for different projects, some chains, which I will probably figure out something with, and last but not least is some ribbon. So this is basically just a little overview of like everything, and yeah, big thank you to Borderline Punk Design for all of this. I paid for all this with my own money. This is not like a sponsored thing, obviously. And this is just me highlighting a business that I think deserves more traction. So, yeah, that's about it. I don't have much of a conclusion written out for this video besides just really the main message I want to get out to people here is to just take care of yourselves, neurodivergent or not, but neurodivergent especially since this video is hopefully coming out in April. Anywho, I want all of you to have a very nice rest of your day or night. Goodbye.